I want to welcome everybody to the Week Egg hashtag half a hundred show. Hashtag 405. Ron, Gavin, I usually say, how are you doing? See how your day is. Talk about the football game. I'm
What?
taking 5 minutes first before I open the floor up because, guys, I went to the game. And I have to vent for 5 minutes. I have to have my free vent. Have any of y'all ever experienced having a kidney stone? Because that's kind of how the game went yesterday. It started off like a small little pain, like, oh, we're just a little jittery for whatever reason today. We're going to experience just some side effects. Who knows with it? But as the game went on, the pain increases. The pain boils up and it becomes unbearable until you finally decide to pass the kidney stone. And I'm trying not to yell today, but it finally happened. And it's like, I was realistically thinking we were going to lose that game yesterday. I 100% was like, we are going to lose because they don't have their crap together. They did not show up. And I don't know where to even start. Is it the team that's lackadaisical? Is it Riley? Is it Grinch? I don't know. And I don't know what the answers are at this point. All I know was realistically through my mind, I was going, I'm going to see Kansas rust the field. And it became real when Kansas announced, we're opening it up to everybody. Everybody get in here. It became real. It almost happened. It almost did. Kayla says she didn't have any doubt. I'm like, Kayla, I disagree with you.
I was going to say, can you rush the field if nobody's there?
Yeah, that's why they opened it up free to everybody. So,
boy, what a cock tease that was, huh? Everyone, 100%. Come watch, come to the game, or something amazing going to happen, and then it didn't happen.
It did not happen. Thank goodness. I was going through my mind. I'm like, this was my rabbit hole. We've gone through the Boise State crap. We've gone through if you want to launch your program like Baylor did, just come beat Oklahoma. You'll get a Heisman out of it. That was going through my mind, and I was getting pissed. I was legitimately getting upset.
Jason Bean looked like a Heisman Trophy candidate for about a half. So
I know, right? So did what's his name from TCU? So did Skylar Thompson from Kansas State. So
to be fair, I respect Skylar Thompson and everything he's accomplished in a short time at Kansas State. But regardless of it is what it is. I'm gonna I might make a video tomorrow. I'm saying this jokingly, but I might make a video tomorrow where I have I intersperse it with black and white, PTSD moments throughout the season so far, because there's many of them. There's plenty to choose from, and it's Josh, you know me. If this bottle was half full, I would say it's half full, not half empty. I am a half, but this was completely full. I'll drink it in a minute, but I always try to have a positive outlook, positive perspective. Even when this team has struggled this year, it's okay to, have no problem criticizing. This is what needs to get better. This guy is hurt, or all these, even Tulane, that's week one. We're messing around and we were up big and we just took our foot off the gas. All these things there's a very convenient excuse you can use or an explanation to wash away what you think you may have seen. There was no fucking excuse for what happened on Saturday.
There was not.
I'm going to curse a lot, so if I offend family and friends, I don't give a shit. But there was no damn excuse for that yesterday. There is nobody on that roster for Kansas that would start on OU's 2 deep. Not one. I think everyone that started in the secondary in that game, all of them, was higher ranked than any Kansas player has had in 7 or 8 years.
Since 2007.
Something crazy like that.
Yep.
So now they had Jamar Chase for about a week till he decommitted. But I'm trying to comprehend how, because this whole week started when Riley said, we took Monday off. We need to have a break. And initially you're like, you know what? This team has gone through a lot. There's injuries. Maybe that's not a bad idea. But you can't let that carry over. It's one thing for fans or media or people say, he's playing Kansas. You know, people I saw this past week, just play the backups. Just play the backups.
Sean, I'm going to interject on that because you were right. And I said it in my post game about an hour ago. You were right. And I want to drive it home because I said that too. I said
Just
that.
play the backups.
Yes, I said that. I said, okay, just get them through a quarter, let them all rest up last week. I said that. And I openly say I was wrong. I was wrong.
I saw that shit all last week, and I'm like, well, at least Riley's not going to have that mentality, I hope. Whether he intended or not, the team had that mentality. Because when you have these guys like Jalen Redmond, Darren Turner-Yell, Mike Woods like sprained an ankle or something. I don't know if it was this week or the game last week, whatever. But they went with the mentality that Kansas is 1-5. They're awful, and we're just going to roll our helmets out there and win. As bad as that football team is, Oklahoma is not that good overall this season to roll their helmets out against anybody not named Western Carolina, which might go down along with like Chattanooga and some of the when we get some FCS teams, we play some bad FCS teams, really bad ones. We don't schedule any good ones for obvious reasons, but we get some bad teams. So this team is not good enough to just roll their helmets out there, and that's what this team has done for most of the year. You know why they're 8-0? A big reason, because for outside of Texas, every team. No. Outside of Texas, every team they've played, have superior football talent. They have won on talent, straight up.
Yeah.
Texas, they gave a shit because they got a miracle. They got a miracle performance out of Caleb Williams, and there was like a fire lit, and then it was a big game. The only hope I have for this team is that we have some big games coming up, and maybe they'll get up for them and they'll care. But that's the really frustrating part is that they always play down or up to their competition. And when you do that every single week, is it a shock that they're in the position they're in? And the sad thing is, or not the sad thing is, like, they're still 8-0. And I got people on Twitter, and I want to choke these people so bad. And I understand they're diehard for their team, as am I, but like, they're complaining about Cincinnati not dropping. Who cares? What does it matter that they didn't drop Cincinnati? Are you kidding me with the Cincinnati crap? Well, they almost lost to Navy. Number one, that was their first so-called bad performance of the season. You know how many Oklahoma has had? Like 5 or 6. Yeah. We have a trend. Like Cincinnati, all due respect, they've earned the right to have a mulligan win. Yeah, against a Navy, which is an option team that it's different. You tend to get mulligans when you play teams like that. People aren't going to you're not going to play a team like that the rest of the year. Now they're going to play teams like SMU and maybe Houston in the championship game later in the year. We'll see how that turns out. But the point of the matter is they've been death killing a lot of teams and convincingly beating other teams. Oh no, they almost lost. They had a close game against Navy, guys. Oh, they're just biased against Oklahoma. I hate you people so much. Not really, but like, you people drive me insane. Like, don't worry about priorities. Don't worry about Cincinnati. Like, worry about your own team who's like almost lost to Kansas on the road on national television. And it literally took another quote-unquote Heisman moment to save this season against Kansas.
And I want to emphasize that. Kansas!
It took a Heisman play! Like the most, this is a highlight reel. If that play that Caleb took the ball away from Kenny, if that happens against any other team, it would be immortalized, a statue. It's the Roy Williams Superman play. If you do that against Oklahoma State or Texas, I'll even put Kansas State or TCU on there, or whatever. It's like you make a bronze statue that like 12 feet or 58 feet tall. Caleb just like, you make it like the Michelangelo, like the 2 fingers touching, except that they're exchanging a football or mural, whatever you got to do. That's what you do, but not when it's against Kansas. So, I just, like, offensively, the O-line is still jacked. That's one problem. Another problem is Riley's play calling, which he just refuses to
He refuses to run the ball.
He refuses to run the ball. We have 3 running backs again. We don't run the ball. And the defense, it's like Alex Grinch, like, I don't know what he's doing because he is so afraid of guys getting beat deep. And so everyone they're playing the biggest zone I have ever seen. I don't know what you saw it live. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming you had decency, but like Sean, they were like each guy was trying to guard like a 25-yard radius around him or something like that. And of course, like my 6'2", 250 plus pounds of chewed bubble gum could run out there for a quick little hitch and catch a pass and get a first down against that defense.
Oh, we were Sean, Gavin, we were both calling it in the stands. Like, first, I was the one yelling it, like, why are we playing 15 yards off the ball? Is Mike Stoops our coordinator again? I was screaming that in the stands. Mind you, I made the people laugh at me, but they didn't disagree with me.
Who on that Kansas roster is better than anybody that Latrell McCutcheon played in high school? In Texas high school football. I want to know who the hell is on that roster. I know there's some okay prep. I know there's some okay prep guys on there, but there's a reason they're at Kansas. So I want to know who on that roster is better than anyone that he's played, because Latrell played some big boy Texas high school football.
I want to say the only one would probably be their running back, and that's it. Neil seems like he's
even then, player. but it's like it's not Puka Williams. He's not Puka Williams good.
No,
like that's the thing. There's not like a Puka Williams. Oh, Puka Williams is like all-American caliber running back. Of course he's going to give you trouble. Everyone gives you. If Puka Williams runs for like 150 yards on you, everyone gives you a pass. So it's like they survived it. I tried to think of the slasher movie. I tried to think of the lamest slasher movie I could think of. I couldn't do it. Like,
oh, I topped it, Sean. I topped it. I thought about that first. Kayla told me to tell you. If Riley is doing this intentionally for some 10D chess, just so Rattler doesn't start, this is some extreme shit. But no, we both came to the conclusion that it's Survivor. And OU keeps on winning the immunity idol, and they're making it through every single game. At some point,
I guess I've never watched an episode of Survivor in my life, ever. But I know what all those things are for obvious reasons, because it's so ingrained in pop culture.
Exactly.
I mean, but, I have to pretty much watch it because, I hear about it at work because I work at a CBS station. So it's something that I have to hear with on a daily basis.
We're just using it as jokes, but it's the truth. It's not just the slasher film anymore, because I told it to Kayla. I'm like, Sean has mentioned this, that we're living a horror movie and we're about to die because we do something stupid like, oh, got to go back and get the cell phone. Oh, I forgot my dog. Oh, I forgot the keys.
Why don't we just get into the running car? Are you crazy? Let's go hide behind the chainsaws. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
That's how we were going to die, and we didn't.
Quick, run to the cemetery. So that's what we're doing. We're running to the cemetery instead of getting in the running car and escaping. So that's where we're at right now. And I just, we don't deserve Caleb Williams right now. We really don't.
He is a man for a freshman. My gosh.
Now he finally looked like a freshman in that first half, for what it's worth. And I'm like, well, there goes the Heisman buzz. And then I completely changed my mind after he made that play late in the fourth quarter. It's like, oh, give it back to him again. My God. So he needs to make more. He does. Listen, I know they're playing against Kansas, but he does not have all day to throw the ball. He has got to make a decision. That kid's got to learn to check down. So I understand he's going for the big play. I respect it. I understand what he's trying to do, but Kenny Brooks was standing there like eating a hot dog out in the flat for like 10 minutes. You could have dumped it off to him. He could have at least gotten 5 or 6 yards or something like that.
Now, Gavin brought that up in our group chat yesterday on it. And I said, at some point the wide receivers got to make a play. Like, you can't just leave Caleb out to dry either. But as the game went on, that was the same thing. Caleb was missing a lot, but he's a freshman. Like, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite where, yes, like he is skill. He is definitely his skill, his 5-star rating. But I'm at a loss.
You gotta just take you just gotta take available the plays with like what the defense is giving you. You don't have to hit the home run every single time.
Right, that will come with experience because again, he's only played a handful of football games, and I'm willing to forgive that. And even if for some reason he costs us a game for whatever reason late down the road, I ain't gonna hold it against him because he's a true freshman. But correct. So I do expect him to take a jump at some point in the next year or two, and if we get a better offensive line and we get some of these skill players that are coming for 22 who can make an impact, like a Raleek Brown, a Javonte Barnes, a Gavin Sawchuk in the backfield, and all that. So, but that's like down the road. Right now, he's got to work. He's got plenty of talent to work with, and I wish we had the bye week this week, but we still got to go home and play Tech, which I know they lost. And but you know what this Tech team also did this year, even though they're only 5-3,
they get superpowers on Halloween weekend.
No, they beat this Kansas team pretty handedly. So, and they're playing with their backup quarterback. Well, you could say that because the starter got hurt at the beginning of the year, I think, and so they've been with their backup all year. Might as well be the starter. But the point of the matter is, it's just, you know, Tech looks competent at times despite having a terrible defense. That'll probably get diced up at home by us this week, but they can put up points. Like if that defense doesn't get better, we're going to get into a shootout again on Saturday.
We'll get into
a shootout.
Reel back 2016, folks. This is where I think it's going to go.
It's not going. I don't think it's going to go that. It's not going to be like that. Where we're going up against. Well, Mahomes had a terrible day today. The Chiefs suck this year. But the point of the matter is that, like, I don't know what I'm going to hear. I really hope I don't hear BS on Tuesday. I don't want to hear about we're close or like no. Like the time for close is over.
Like, so that's my question for you, Sean. That is my question. There's one thing that always keeps driving me nuts. Where used to we would say we want accountability from Stoops, both Stoops. Of they just seem to ignore the problems, and then Riley does. I was like, I know we sucked it up, you know. Oh, we're bad, I guess. But how many times is that acceptable? It's like, well, Riley, no, you're not getting it. You're not.
Well, Grinch took responsibility at the end of the game, and that's great, but Grinch to me is the bigger problem. People can rip on Riley. He is the man in charge after all, and some people want him fired, but you're not going to fire a guy who's undefeated right now. Just like that's the tricky part with all of this, is that people who don't watch this team see us 8-0, and some people think we're crazy. And I get it. I get from the outside looking at outside. It's like, you're undefeated and you have a chance to go to the playoff, and what are you complaining about? I get it, but you haven't been on the roller coaster. You see, it would be easier if we had dropped 2 or 3 games because no one would care. We would, in a sense, our hopes and dreams would have been checked out by now. But the problem is, when you're undefeated, you still have your hopes and dreams for what could happen at the end of the year, and at the same time, you're watching like it's like we're still we're in the Daytona 500. We got a shot to win it, but we're in a Pinto or something like that. We're in a Ford. We're in a 70s Pinto, or like we're in a Volkswagen Beetle. We're like Herbie. Herbie's trying to beat like Jeff Gordon. I know he's retired now, but the point of the matter is, like, we're trying to win the Daytona 500 in a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah,
and the reason why, like, so many other teams around, other cars around us keep crashing. Because every week, all these top 25 teams get upset or lose. Now, the leader is still there. There's Georgia. Cincinnati's kind of like trying to figure out how to zoom past it. Alabama and Ohio State are creeping up behind us. And there's Michigan and Michigan State there. Penn State took a horrible crash. God, that was embarrassing.
9 overtime. You know, that was the thing.
9 times.
I love how the
9 times.
I love how the NCAA changed it to say we just want to protect, you know, player safety, and then the quarterback got injured.
Yeah, let's create an overtime system where your linemen are going to crash into each other at the goal line, because every play from then on out is the most important play in the game, and they're going to murder, death kill each other until there's a winner. Yeah, you might as well have a 2-man sack race to decide things at that point if you care about player safety.
Put the ball in the middle of the field and run for the football like old XFL.
Oh yes, guys tore.
Yeah.
First time they do that, guy tore his ACL doing that. That was a brilliant move. Good one, Vince.
Mhm.
But yeah, we danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight, and somehow we're still here.
And we survived. Go ahead, Gavin. We've been venting. Gavin, go ahead.
We almost died from like getting a splinter in our finger, like death by splinter.
We almost died because we almost went through the cemetery.
Oh man, you know what? I will just say this. I feel like I just don't know. It's like something just happened. Right when I would say what since what Kansas State. I don't know what it is, but it was like ever since Kansas State. Right now, it's just been like like I said, you guys just pretty much took the words right out of my mouth for the most part. I feel like it's either one system like wise, and everything like you talk about with the whole backing off the 10-15 yards, which is I still don't understand.
If you're gonna get burned, at least admit to the burn.
Yeah, because the only reason I think I bring this up that I don't know. I think it was like, how many times did we get burned by TCU, with that same wide receiver last week?
A lot. I was there. A lot.
But he was 6'4" and was a man.
So I don't know. And look, I don't know because I'm just speaking from the outside and everything. But the whole issue of like backing off that far does not make the lickest of sense for me whatsoever. And
I know why.
And look, I know, and I understand you got the young players though, but I just feel like it's just gonna really and it's like basically sort of like reverting back, and I understand the whole secondary is being almost been demolished at this point with the injury bugs and all that stuff, but man, it's like I just would love to see a little bit more of the aggression or something. That's kind of been my biggest issue. I just don't.
Actually playing Alex Grinch defense that we were told was going to be aggressive and force turnovers, and we were going to all those things that we kind of saw in the previous 2 years. Oh, that one. I missed that defense despite what some people thought.
I don't know. It's just one of those situations to where, and not only that, but I feel like, and this is where my biggest trouble is. I've just been wondering where the heck has been our, supposed to be our greatest strength, which is our defense, our basically our front. Where are they at? That's the other question.
I'll tell you. Well, two guys are playing well right now on that line: Nick Benito and Isaiah Thomas. No. Not Perrion Winfrey. Not Perrion Winfrey. No.
Right. Perrion has been
Nick Benito and Isaiah Thomas. Those are your two guys that are consistently doing well.
And
what needs to happen is that Jalen Redmond is close. Jalen Redmond, like, this defense will be transformed immensely this Saturday if Jalen Redmond is back on the field, because they get him back inside and put Isaiah on the outside, and then they can rotate, Grimes in there. You will see a massive difference. Brian Asamoah has been playing some really good football lately. Believe it or not, Justin Broyles has been okay. He has been awful. He's made a few plays here and there. I would prefer to get Billy Bowman back at nickel, but I'll give all props to Key Lawrence. Key Lawrence is starting to get it. It's starting to click. So we're having someone at safety. The funny part about that is that if Turner Yell is healthy, like, he'll bench Key Lawrence and put Turner Yell back out there. Not that I have anything against Turner Yell. He plays well too, but Pat Fields is going to get exposed. Like, they are going to pick on Pat Fields in these big 3 games coming up. And if we get beyond that, he'll get picked on even more. So there are he is afraid to put guys out there that in theory could have the talent or listen, I get the practice thing. You want to see it practice. I understand that, but sometimes there are some guys out there that are just not great practice players, and it's not for lack of trying. Some guys are just, when they're in a game, it clicks, it turns on, and you just never know until sometimes you're forced to put him out there. Look at Caleb Williams. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know, but when he got out there, it clicked. When you absolutely had to have it. I would like to see if some of these guys would click more, like a Bryson Washington or somebody, because Woody Washington, unfortunately, sounds like he ain't going to be back for a while because he has a nagging injury. I don't know when he's coming. Like if he comes back, it might be like Big 12 or bowl game or whatever that is. That's when we might expect him back at this point, and that really sucks. DJ Graham was held out this week. He kind of practiced a little bit, maybe not really, but again, it was the mentality of Kansas. Oh, we can win without TJ Graham. We can win without Jalen Redmond. We can win without Turner Yell. It's like, again, you start snipping away, and then you realize you're not as good as you think you are. Like you're just not as good as you think you are. You cannot lose those pieces. Like you do not have you lost a lot of key guys from last year. Like you go. Like Sunday Night Football last week, Trey Norwood and Trey Brown, they were killing it. They were killing it for the Seahawks and Steelers. They were making plays on national television. Trey Norwood is a starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Raise your hand if you said Trey Norwood's going to be a starting defensive back for an NFL team. Trey Brown is going to be a key, he's going to be a key factor for a big-time NFL team. It's happening. We have starting defensive backs in the NFL that are doing things. And they keep getting bailed out. Like we got bailed out we stopped Tulane on like a 4th down with like a yard to go. West Virginia, we had the bad snap that West Virginia was driving with the bad snap that made it like 2nd and 30 or whatever it was, and we ended up winning. After that, K-State, we had a bunch of everything went our way with the double kick, onside kick, with the 4th and long, the ball hits the ground. We had a Texas, Caleb Williams saves the day. And then TCU is the only game this year that where we kind of won convincingly. And there was a few plays here and there, but it didn't cost us the game. And then you get to this week, even though we won by double digits, we scored a late touchdown to put it away. But we needed a miracle, once again, the miracle play by Caleb Williams. So it's just the highlight reel you can make of these plays. Oh, my God. The season recap.
And
unbelievable.
And Sean, I want to get to this too, because you brought up about that miracle play and everything. I was seeing a lot of flack because of with the officials and all that, which, the call was right, from that point. But the whole question about it, was like, was it legal? Was it not? Was it illegal? I was like,
let's all be honest.
The refs suck.
Yeah, but let's all be honest. Let's just, we're all here. Let's all be honest. Like when I saw that play, I'm like, I didn't know that was going to be ruled legal. I think a lot of us at first didn't think that initially, if we're all deep down, but then when you break it down, like, oh, it was behind the line of scrimmage, wasn't it? Because that was my worry, because I thought maybe Kennedy had crossed the line at first, and then they took a long time, and the longer they took, it's like, oh, they're trying to put the ball back where it was. That's bad.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The visitor side didn't see it at all because it happened on the other side of the pile. So we didn't even know what was going on because from our view, it looked like.
Did you see a replay of him on the board?
No, they didn't replay it.
Oh
but you were like, wait, like were you? I bet you were confused as hell. Wait.
Yeah, we all went. Caleb got the first down. What are y'all looking at? Like he was 5 yards over.
And it's like, wait, what?
Twitter.
Yeah. So, and this was such a weird. They basically put out a rule about the whole deal. I, had to do some little bit of digging up and everything about it, and I've, looked at it and everything, and it's like, well, according to basically the sections that I found, it said, yep, that is legal. that was pretty much all I can pretty much say at this point.
There's many people who are trying to say like, well, if you go over the line of scrimmage, you can't do the go backwards. Yes, you can. You can go back over it. Like
no. Here's what you got. Your whole body has to go past the line of scrimmage. That's like if you throw a forward pass, for example, as long as you have like a toe behind the line when you do it, like it still counts. But you cannot hand it off forward if you're past the line. They were both behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So right, neither of them.
What people are complaining about, like the other side to this, a lot of people are complaining about the judgment call the refs made because forward progress was stopped. The refs should have blown the whistle. That's what people are bitching at. That's what people.
Hey, guess what, refs? Hey, guess what?
You guys did that in the first second quarter.
Yeah, they should have done that. We were vicious on them not calling.
Oh yeah. When they did not, like when there was a pile up and they did not blow the whistle and they let it keep going and Kansas got a first down. It was like, hey, you know what? At least they were consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah. They were at least consistent. So
yeah. We were going nuts on that with the in general, the refs were bad this game too, because we were pointing out going, we don't think that was offside many times. Outside the one time where one of our guys just barreled through.
Oh no, the encroachment was like terrible. Like they were.
It was okay because it looked like there was a lot of like false starts and that they were doing different counts on the line from our view.
Well, I'm gonna just say this because I was watching like a lot of the offsides penalties that was at. Asamoah's though was probably the worst because he got was trying to be aggressive, wanted to get the head start in there, and
he heard the he heard the ball. He saw the ball snap in his heart, and that was the most important thing.
Yeah, but it's like I understand the aggressiveness, but you got to play smart. It's like it's like I want to see the aggressiveness, but it has to be smart, and everything else. It's like I get so irritated, too, because it's like when I hear the hand clap, they just want to go right then, right there, though. But it's like they can alter that snap count, whatever they do with it, hand clap and everything. And it's just for me, the discipline was my biggest issue more than anything. I mean, how many penalties did we have in that game? Like I think like what 9, 10 or so in that game.
It was 10 for 65.
Yeah, and I was saying that, and I think part of that was like I think they had like what 2, 3 offsides in that first drive.
It was 3.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I don't know because that to me shows within that first drive, yeah, you can maybe call it early judge, trying to get the games rolling on all that, but I really have a problem with the discipline. That's kind of been my biggest issue. If anything, within all of that, that's been my biggest frustration.
We had a lot of suspicion that they were doing false snap counts when, like, it was the second offside when all 3 of our guys like barreled forward. Like, we thought they were doing some at the line. Maybe y'all saw something different from because y'all had.
I mean,
that way to us.
I mean, there are. It is like a penalty if you try to like clap or do something to that there is like some ethical rule where you're not allowed to clap or do something to get one of the guys to move offside. So I don't know if they violate. I don't like. Listen, at the end of the day, if you can get away with it, I'm a pro wrestling fan. If the heel can get away with a poke to the eye or a low blow, props to you. So if the ref can see it didn't happen. So I mean, that's what Kansas has to do to win football games. But
apparently, though, but Sean and Gavin. If an intentional grounding happens, but it didn't really happen, did it really happen though?
The problem for Caleb is that he threw it like into the stands practically, and that's why they threw the flag. Even though there were guys technically in the area, you could argue, but if he would have threw it anywhere closer to them, like over their heads, that would have helped. But again, that's just don't let the refs have a chance to interpret it that way. You got to have.
And I will say this, just from a fan looking at it, it's like, look, I mean, yeah, it was somewhat in the area, but at least make it the effort to where you like at least like spike it to their feet or something. Don't.
Well, no, don't do that.
Well, you get what I mean, though. It's like at least make it to where it's at least close or something. Not
if you spike at their feet, it could bounce up and picked off for a touchdown. That happened to Missouri once in 1997.
Well, but you get what I'm saying, John. But I just think that's just where I feel like it's like, that's just my take. But I think the grounding, I actually agreed with it of all things. I know you guys might disagree with me on that, but just from the outsider looking in and everything, I thought that was the right call. To be honest on that, because it's like,
but it's still. I mean, at the end of the day, it still does not describe OU's terrible stuff. And that's something where when you look at the defense and stuff, how it was, I mean, I'm not on the boat yet versus some other people that are ready to fire Alex Grinch, or at least say bro, you're on the hot seat. I'm on the thing of, I think I'm starting to believe him that the players aren't putting the effort in at practice. It shows.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
That's the problem. Is that Grinch's or is that Riley's? Because Grinch called out Riley and said, no, we should be practicing on Monday. That's hard. I don't know the answer to that. That's a hard one.
I think, if anything, that is going to be the $1 million question, because I think, if anything, if you're deciding to take an off day, where you have to prepare for, for a quick, for a game against Kansas, which you should have won handily, which you're a 38.5-point favorite.
Who in Vegas keeps putting these lines out, by the way? Opening line for Tech -22 OU.
Taking the under. Taking the under.
No, not the under. You're picking Tech to cover.
Oh yeah, I'm picking Tech to cover, guys.
The under, the under is like the combined projected score of both teams.
Tech is covering, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, I have to be the one. This is why I don't bet, because I said, "Oh, you will cover that." Nope, I'm wrong.
I honestly should start betting OU for real.
I'm make some money.
I should, for real, just bet teams to cover OU this year. Outside of TCU.
Bama.
No, I mean the TCU game. You would have gotten 7-1 this year for OU, or 6-1. I don't know if Western Carolina was on the board or not. But
Western Carolina.
But yeah, just you would have made a little bit of money, not a lot, depending how much you bet, but still. Daddy needs to have his money ready for when they for the Christmas restock of PS5s, so he's got to be ready for it.
Yeah.
God, I just realized I will actually have money to get one of those things when they actually get back in stock, because they're going to have a Christmas restock and it's going to be insane.
Yet again, do we have enough people to get help with the restock, though? That's the other major question.
I don't know. I just that was a problem with the original the Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Wii, you could not I was still in the Army at the time, and I would go to the mall every week. And as a joke, I would walk into the local game store in the mall. I think Babbage's still existed back then.
Oh yeah, Babbage's.
Yeah, Babbage's still existed. That's where they would also release anime DVDs early, pre-Street Date, which is really awesome. That's one of the reasons I went there. And as a joke, I went to the counter. I was I demand a Nintendo Wii. It's we don't have any. Thank you for your time, and walked out. Just to see what they would say. And one day I walked in and they said, actually, we do have it. I'm one Nintendo Wii, please. I didn't know what to do with myself. It's so I should buy a game, right? I'll get that Super Mario Galaxy and what else you got? And so
are you okay? I don't know. I
don't know what to do. I'm so used to the punchline being, what it is, and I'd walk in and go to Walden Books or something afterwards. So or
Sean,
Saturday.
I worked at GameStop at that time and went at the height of it all. And it was just hi, do you have a look? If you're saying for a Nintendo Wii, nope, I'm sorry, my dude. And there's a waiting list because we weren't fulfilling the reserves. That's the problem. Yeah.
But yeah, video games. I would like to get a PS5 because I never got a PS4 because it's it got to the point where I have no spare money to pay $400 for a console. I do now, kind of. I probably shouldn't, but I kind of want one now.
It's those wonderful viewers that tune into you each week. Did you melt down during the Kansas game, by the way?
Meltdown. I mean, you can go back and watch my video if you want. You can go back and watch that, I guess. I had to mute a Nicki Minaj song played during one of the commercials, and they temporarily demonetized my live reaction. I had to. Thankfully, YouTube has these little things where you can just mute the damn copyright song. It's not important. It's during a commercial anyway. Who cares? But I mean, I just kind of like sat there and I was like, there was trolls, of course, and everything, and I was like, whatever, just like go away. It's like I'm dealing with like Tennessee fan who's like, you gotta admit this is embarrassing. I'm like, I've been doing that for 2.5 hours. I've been letting you go on and on forever. It's like, I'm done. Like, if you're gonna like pretend I'm not acknowledging it, like, go away. So
you should have told that Tennessee fan that he had his own Crimson problems to worry about.
I mean, when I was watching the wrestling, like, it was hard to get away from my phone at first because, like, oh my god, Tennessee's gonna ban my game for about 2.5 quarters, and then Bama just like destroyed them in the fourth. I'm like, oh, because it was really difficult to get like decent connection with my phone in that damn arena or whatever. So
yeah,
I got once I walked out into like where the concessions were, boom, it came back. But you walk out there into the stand, into the crowd, like, nope, it's done. Right. But I cheered good old JR. He got his Boomer Sooner played when he came out, and of course I was the only one. I was all decked out in OU gear, and like I was like, I'm here for JR. Woo!
Speaking of which, wasn't there an announcement that like JR had like some sort of skin cancer that he had recently?
Yeah, well, he put it out there on Twitter, so it's on his leg or ankle or something. Hopefully, like skin cancer. Hopefully, it's one of those things where, depending on like, my dad technically had it, but it's like skin cancer is one of those things. It's like it's on the outside, so you can. Hopefully, if you can isolate the area where it is, you can take care of it. And it's like sometimes you just like you can, like sometimes it can be really tiny, and you just like cut it out, a little chemo, and you can be good to go. That's what my experience with family with skin cancer. But like I'm sure it's different for everyone. I'm not trying to play down cancer because it sucks, but it's one of the cancers that you can, if you're catching early enough, you can manage it and you can take care of it. And there's others that are just like, unfortunately you're screwed, that are really difficult, but cancer sucks. But like, other than that, like I said, we had more runs with Let's Go Brandon signs. Cause it's like, you have to have your silly, right-wing conservative, like, hate speech in there. And like they took those out pretty quick, at least the ones that were on hard cam. Like, you can bring a side to a pro wrestling event. Like, everyone's having, like, 99% of the people there are having fun. Cheering for their favorite wrestler, a funny sign that, like, cheering their favorite wrestler, booing their favorite wrestler,
it's like game
making a video, like, people love making video game references on their signs. It's like, let's go, Brandon. I was like, okay, NASCAR fan. Like, you're just a miserable human being who wants to be miserable. You paid like over $100 at some of those seats were over $100, and you just want to go there and be a miserable prick. It's like no one wants to be around you.
It makes me think of after you saw all the F-bombs dropped on College Game Day with the signs. They monitor them every so often. I'm not.
Sign police is important. Freedom of speech. Like like people
on these.
People don't know what people who scream freedom of speech all the time like don't know what it means. Well, they actually don't read what it stands for. And that's coming from I have the right to go on game day and say, it's like, no, you don't.
No.
The
FCC.
Yeah, the FCC boys. Oh, man, that's another topic of discussion for another day.
Freedom of speech. It's like you have the right to like protest anything you want when it comes to government, but not on private property, where they're trying to hold an event that has nothing to do with your politics. Like, you don't have the right to do that.
Yeah. Here's my question for you, Sean. While I'm thinking, and Gavin, while I'm thinking about it, what is the core thing going into Texas Tech?
When?
What do you do?
When?
No, what is the core, like, what is your big issue, like, going in, like, you have to fix it now? Like,
can Billy Bowman play nickel again? Can we do that? For real? Like, can Graham play? And listen, let McCutcheon play. I know he's gonna make mistakes, but he's like a 4, like, depending on what he is like a high caliber corner like recruit. Let
That
the
is
dude
something
play.
you reminded me of, Sean, and I wanted to bring this up. This was something that was driving me nuts at the game. Grinch, pick your best 11 and stick with the damn play.
Quit stealing quotes from my videos.
No, I'm not. I'm yelling it out the
Quit
field.
stealing quotes from my videos.
I'm not, because I got tired of seeing people rotate on the field. We were all saying, guys, what are you doing? Why is there guys running on and off the field every 2 seconds? Like,
look,
by the way, did you know that Theo Weiss also played yesterday?
What?
Yeah, he had a recorded tackle. He actually played yesterday.
Did they switch him on over to defense and I wasn't paying attention?
Wait, on special teams or?
It may have been special teams, but he has a recorded tackle from the OU Kansas game. Unless I'm looking at the wrong one, I saw a recorded tackle from the OU Kansas game of Theo Weiss on defense.
Yeah, that's
wait,
it.
Wait, he's number, I forget.
He should be
10.
number
10.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
Wait, that can't be right.
If it's right, they're saying he.
Are you sure that's not? Are you sure that's not Pat Fields?
No, I'm looking at it right now on ESPN, right under Reggie Grimes. Theo Weiss has a TOT and a solo tackle.
I'm looking at that too, but that can't be right. There's no way. There is no. First of all, like that's got to be an error. Okay. That has to be like why the that doesn't that makes zero sense.
Hold on, Sean. Maybe this might, and I'm just maybe remembering this, but do you think it might have been a tackle that he had probably from an interception that maybe like Rattler threw or something like that? Do you think that might be a possibility?
No, we're talking about the Kansas game. There's no Rattler. Like this is the box score. I'm looking at the same thing, but that can't be right.
Yeah,
that has
OU is also and OU itself has recorded that Theo Weiss did play. I'm looking at Sooner Sports. They also did say he did play.
How many snaps did he have? But how many question. Did he have any snaps on offense?
That's my question. Did he just play like special teams?
That doesn't make any damn like that makes no sense. Like that has to be wrong.
You have to wonder when he
that can't be right. I'm not listening. If it like, why would you play one of your better receivers? Like, listen, it's not out of the realm of him playing special teams. I get that, but like. When did it take place? When did this tackle allegedly take place?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because because you can play by play will tell you like each play will tell you who made the tackle, right?
Correct.
All right, so
it wasn't in the first.
You gotta go through.
Okay. Are there 2 number 10s? Do you know?
Yes, Pat Fields.
Hey, it was the last play of the game. Jason Bean pass completed to Lawrence Arnold for 29 yards to the Oklahoma 37. Theo Weiss tackled first down. End of game clock.
All right, I'm pulling. Hang on, I'm pulling up the game right now because I got it handily. It was the very last play. All right, I am pulling up this game. I'm going to skim to the very end.
Yeah, it surprised me because I was like, wait a minute, Theo Weiss, what? But yeah, they're saying it was the last play of the game.
All right, hang on. I'm looking at this. Hang on. No, that's Pat Fields. That's totally wrong.
Okay, so it is Pat.
That was I knew it. Like that's number 10 is Pat Fields. Like I'm gonna go one more time. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
It was the third. It was the third and fourth.
Caleb Kelly, Pat Fields, and Jaden Davis were all there. That was Pat Fields. That is totally wrong. So
that's probably a misprint on their
part. I was like, that has to be Pat Fields. There's no way he's playing defense on a last. There is no way you're putting that guy who's been banged up for. Not like even if they scored, it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I mean? It's just like I knew that was like I was like, what the hell? That made any damn sense.
And not only that, ESPN has still even ruled him out. So how on earth did he get in that one for one play?
That's why I brought it up.
So
you found that. You noticed
I found that. Yeah, okay. I noticed that on the ESPN website and on Sooner Sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So well, I am going to.
Yeah, that's a misprint.
I am going to post this and give you credit on my Twitter feed.
hey, OU, this was not it. This is the positives of having a live stream. We discover all the mistakes. Oh my goodness. But okay, clarified now that it was not Theo Weiss. I'm still upset of I feel like when you're rotating all the guys, they're not getting settled in, and that's where all those mistakes happen. That's my opinion on it. I don't like when he rotates people in like that. I think Riley's entire strategy also at the very end, it's literally, let's just outlast our people until the fourth quarter and then light them up, and then we're going to win the game that way. I literally think that is what Riley's strategy is. I don't know what his play calling is anymore. Anyway, that's just me on it. That's just me. It was something.
But like you were like, yes, Huey's was in the game. But like, when? Like everyone would have, like that would have been like a big thing if he was out there running a route or something. It's like, when was Theo out there? But yeah, it's just ugh. So
that's why I said, did you know he was in the game? I was not mistaken on the stuff. They were wrong, but I was quoting from what they had. So, oh my gosh. So, anyway, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried about this Texas Tech game this weekend. I'm not.
Well, you should be worried about it. You should be worried about every game at this point. Are you kidding me? It's like everyone like plays this close. I mean, unless you're. I mean, TCU's got to be like scratching their heads. How do we lose by 3 touchdowns with no chance to win at the end? Are we just that bad?
TCU left their defense at home. They lost to West Virginia.
I mean, Texas Tech doesn't have a defense either, but like they got a puncher's chance by they can score a bunch of points if we don't have a pass rush and we don't want to make any plays on defense on Saturday. I mean I'm upset because
prevent the defense is the entire defense.
I mean, I have a problem with the fact that I was kind of hoping to watch that Florida Georgia game because I like that rivalry game to watch it, but we got a 3:30 kick on ABC, so I mean I'll be watching. And listen, it's likely that Georgia's going to kill Florida anyway, so it won't matter. But we have a loaded lineup. Well, we did. We still have a fun Saturday of games this week. I've been looking forward to Michigan State all year, and
I think Michigan State's going to light up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a game for Mr. Walker to get some Heisman buzz. That's the one. So
I think I kind of see this either as just either a 3 or 7 point game with Michigan State at this point. That's where I'm looking at right now.
And this is a game for you have Harbaugh who's been very, very quietly got Michigan undefeated. And, people are wondering, can Michigan finally get over the hump if they win this game? And then they'll have 3 games to get ready to host Ohio State this year. Because that game was canceled last year because of COVID. Because that was just Michigan was devastated by COVID last year.
Yeah.
And I'm still upset about how Ohio State even got into the Big Ten championship game because they basically bend the rules for them. That's still another thing.
You just inspired me, Gavin. You just inspired me. I want to thank you.
We're having a wonderful night. Why?
You just inspired me. That's the video I'm making tomorrow. That's the video I'm making tomorrow.
And what video is that?
So, Ohio State can get in the college football playoff by playing 5 or 6 games. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why can't Caleb Williams win the Heisman Trophy then?
Big brain mode.
Why can't Caleb Williams win the Heisman? If Ohio State could play for a national championship, only playing 5 or 6, well, that was COVID. Your point. There you go. Thank you, Gavin. You're my muse. There you go. That's my video tomorrow. I was like, I need something to talk about. I was like, Caleb Williams has made all these plays past and it says, oh, he can't. He's only played X. I was like, Ohio State was in the national championship game, only played 5 games or 5 or 6 games. Suck it, losers. You all allowed that to happen. So why not? And I'm just like, is it?
Man, that's going to be one of those. You should watch the comments in your video.
It's a trophy. They played for a trophy. This is a trophy. He should be able to play for the trophy. let's see. Let me actually look at the amount of games. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They played 9 games. Is that it? They played a shortened season.
I think if it.
No. My apologies. I'm reading this too long. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, including the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
So how many games would Caleb have? Now, nobody in Ohio State won the Heisman, mind you. And so that's what people will tell me. But they got to play for a national championship. And they beat great teams like number 18 Penn State, and number 9 Indiana, which was actually a good game. Northwestern, which gave them a scare.
635 people who attended that game.
Yeah, so
and then only to get murdered by Alabama.
Yeah, so
yeah.
And look, it'll be listen. Anything about Caleb winning the Heisman is all tongue in cheek. So my tongue will be like way over there. But I'm just like, you know what? I need a happy-go-lucky stupid video. I'm not above doing clickbait once in a while. It's one thing you do it every day, like some people. But I have no shame in doing a stupid little clickbaity video once in a while, just to see what happens.
Okay.
Because it's a slow week, right?
Why Caleb Williams should win the Heisman? I'll tell you why.
Because it's a slow week.
And also, everyone who's mad, and Gavin, I'll need your phone number and contact information. I'll put it on the screen. If you're mad, contact me at this number and this mailing address.
Yeah, great. And I'll have to explain. Okay, why am I getting so much hate mail in this?
So you're fortunate that I don't already have that information, because I would have no problems. Like, who the hell is this?
See, inspiration on the live stream.
5 regular season games. He's played 3 so far, and he has got 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. So I will,
and one of them's Oklahoma State.
5 if you count the Big 12 championship game, which I think Oklahoma will. OU only needs, in theory, to win what? They need to win 3 of those games minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, they could. I mean, depending on how things go over the few weeks, it could be 2. But I would hope they don't lose any of those games. There is a possibility, because those are 2. We got 2 tough road games.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got Baylor, which is going to be, I think, going to be really.
I hate that game so much. I hate it.
My gut is saying we're not going to win that.
But and I will say this: Iowa State's coming off that win, which I think that was one. I really don't know if I really would have agreed with the spot that they had, in that Iowa State Oklahoma State game. On that
Iowa State might beat our asses if we're not careful. I'm standing by that. Xavier Hutchinson
beat our asses.
Well, no, I think offensively is Iowa State's the more dangerous team to play against. But that Xavier Hutchinson will have a field day against that secondary if it don't get better soon.
But that not only concerns me, but they love to use their tight ends. They really do. I think that's probably one of the.
It's not like the middle of the field is a weakness for. Oh wait, it is. So.
That's another deal. I feel I think Oklahoma State, for me, I think the problem is their offense right now has been so really I'm not saying it's worse, but it's not the the consistent offense that we've seen in the years past too, and it's been more relying on their defense more than anything. That's where I've been seeing with Oklahoma State all this year.
Yeah.
I got a haircut a few days ago, and usually whenever I get a haircut, bad things happen. Usually we lose.
So this is why we're supposed to lose.
I mean, I did it before Kansas just in case, and we still won. So usually, if there's a better team, we would have lost. But
if there was any other team, we probably would have lost. I'm just saying.
And I feel it feels both Texas and Oklahoma losing to Kansas. Yep. See you later. That's
I
felt
was
like
terrified about those memes, Gavin. I was like, I don't want to become an internet meme. We already deal with Boise State and launch your program memes. I don't want this one there. I'm good. I don't want to see in-person Kansas rushing the field. After already, too, we saw the power outage, and we were all cracking jokes of, oh, Kansas can't play the electric bill.
Yeah. What was weird was that, and I'm just going to tell you this, Josh. It wasn't just like the stadium. It was like some sort of
campus-wide.
Campus-wide power outage.
They say it in the stadium. They're like, we're taking an official timeout because the power is out. We're like, okay, whatever. We're still playing football. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, you might have maybe one or two small delays for something like that, but I don't think I've ever seen, basically a delay for a weird power outage or something like that. I've never really seen anything like that before.
Oh,
but then,
power goes out. It happens. It was like what they were saying on television. Early in the game, Kansas had their headsets working on battery power, but OU's apparently were not working at that moment.
Think a little gamesmanship.
I mean, cutting power to the entire campus is a very bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. But what a day! Power goes out, and then everyone's like, "Get down to the stage! Hey, everybody, get!" They're hitting the dinner bell, triangle bell, ding, 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 ding. Everyone, hey, everybody, get down to the stadium! Get down to the stadium! There's an upset brewing. Rocket shock.
Well,
God.
I will say I give their fans who show up to those games knowing they're going to lose credit. They are dedicated.
I think there are people who are fulfilling community service requirements for DUIs that go to Kansas football games. Honestly, I mean, listen. Community service, you have to stay. You have to attend and stay for an entire Kansas football game.
I will say this: I work with quite a few people that actually go to that went to KU. So
that many? You have that many friends who have DUIs, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's probably packaged with their basketball. All right, you gotta attend the game and you'll get a discount on your basketball ticket. Cool.
You have to show up and they don't even have a scanning thing. They have one of those little those little circle coupon clips. You have your little membership card. They pop open a little circle and you get 10 circles clipped. Then you get $5 off a sundae at the local soda shop or whatever because it's 1955 in Lawrence still.
Yeah. Get your free Wendy's.
Yeah.
Speaking of concessions, I will give the arena at UCF credit. Work shortages across the country. That crew, top notch. I was in a long line to get food before the event started. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Boom, boom, boom. It was like a well-oiled machine. It's there was. It helps there was no jerk off and. That was I want some of the men. You're standing in line for 10 minutes and the menu's right there, and you're just you know what you want by then. But everyone was I was all right, chicken basket fries, drink, boom, go, chicken, burger, boom, go. They were just so props to that crew, hell of a job. Addition Finance Arena, whatever it's called, but it was a 10-minute wait, but it was a super long line, and it just moved. So.
Hey, good for them.
So I will get props, and this is weird, kind of dad level flexing, but I parked a little further away. I didn't have to fight the garages that were closer. Just a 5-10 minute walk. I got to my car, got off of campus real quick and easy, and went home. No problems. It was the easiest. I even stayed afterwards for the in ring stuff they do that's for off the air. So. Props. I had an overall good time, except for the asshole security who told me I couldn't have my sign, and I should have just not listened. Would have been a perfect night.
You should have done what the Kansas fans did. Gavin, I was telling Sean before the live stream that I know why Kansas fans get a bad reputation on some stuff, because after the game, we were walking back to our cars and there was a guy that pointed out to like me and Kayla and went, "Hey, you!" And we're like, we're like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he lifts his shirt up and it's like, "FOU!" We're like, "Scoreboard. Sorry, dude. Sorry that you're in a weird like old person like."
Oh, by the way,
in high school.
You not by the way, but like I'm putting this in here in the chat.
Yeah.
But we have a lacrosse team. I just figured this out for the first time ever. But their new helmets, I love that design. I think that is so badass. Check that out.
What do you got?
I posted it in the chat. Look at it. Click that.
Oh man, those look really good, man.
Doesn't that look great? That looks really cool.
That's clean. I like
that.
That.
Those are I love. Like that is national championship level lacrosse helmet there.
But
that's slick.
Okay, when did they get it? I'm kind of confused.
What are you confused with?
Oh, I've never really heard about it. I guess
you're like, we have a lacrosse team. Like I know.
But I think, well, I think part of it too is like mostly like a lacrosse. I would say like maybe the Northeast, Mid Atlantic. You know that's where they're usually.
I mean, don't we? We still have a club hockey team, right?
Yeah, we do.
It's a club team. It's not a varsity, but we have a club hockey team. So
yeah,
I mean, we actually beat Alabama in hockey once.
What?
Yeah.
See, I have a Bama buddy who was so bitter about the Sugar Bowl because I kept talking crap to him for like years after the fact about it, and it's been like since the 1960s that you beat us in football, and he was so determined to get he went to like an Alabama hockey home game and OU was the road team. It's like I'm gonna watch Alabama beat Oklahoma, damn it, and Oklahoma won the hockey game. He's like, do it.
Was that? Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Is it the one?
Is a Bam Marine? He's his nickname?
Yeah,
is like Marine. I was trying to contact him before the Orange Bowl playoff game, and like he's disappeared off the face of the earth. I assume he's alive and well, but I was like, I assumed he was there, and I was like, going to meet up. I was going to actually meet him in person. Like, I was like, I'm amazed. Like, I couldn't. Like, it's like he's got to want to call up and talk shit to me after this win, right? Because just like, but nope, guess not. So.
Maybe he fell off the face of the planet with so many of those championships. They're just weighing him down.
Yeah, he was all those rings. So it's.
I know, right?
But yeah, 31 wins away from tying Bud Wilkinson. So
31.
We're on track. Like we're on a 16-game winning streak in this, and we're miserable. We're on a 16-game winning streak, and our fan base is miserable. It's hilarious.
You know, and I think what's so funny though is like I would say this, like there is a huge target, because with the way that this team is performing, they really want to see the fruition of this team lose. And when I mean I'm talking about like everybody outside of the OU fans.
Oh, of course. No, yeah. we are the ultimate. Us in Cincinnati, everyone is waiting for us to lose so we can be out of the conversation.
Oh, you should have seen college football Reddit yesterday. By the way.
First of all,
side note.
Why do you keep going to Reddit?
No, this was on Twitter. This was on Twitter because
but you have posted on Reddit on purpose in the past, and I hold that against you and I judge you for it. Like
because I've made money off of Reddit.
What do you mean you made money off of Reddit? Like YouTube?
I have a viral video on there that got picked up for $250.
How does that work?
They contacted me and said, "Hey, we want the rights to this," and I said, "Okay, I'm not going to use it ever," and I got paid. So that is why I keep.
What video was it? What was it? What did you do?
I'll send it to you, Sean and Gavin. It was a flashing lights. Basically, there was a glitch, like a Christmas tree kind of thing, in the parking lot of a Target, and it was at the same time Stranger Things was like all over with it, and they're like, "Hey, we want to use this to promote Stranger Things." Okay. How much? Well, we'll pay you $100. I'm like, I ain't going a little bit lower. I want about $250. We can do that. Oh, okay. I'll send it to you.
Man, it's like when I worked out my deal to go on that Twitch stream for the Texas game. I said, I'm like, guys, like, I'm not going to say no, but at the same time, that's like the Texas game. That's my biggest game of the year. And like, And I gave him a number that was like nowhere close to what I make on a regular game, because who knows how much I would have made if I had streamed it. I was like, guys, this is like, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll give that to you. Okay. And they sent me free stuff. Like, I got a new webcam for free out of it. Like, way overdue on upgrading on the webcam. I know. Like, you notice all my videos look and sound better in the past like 3 or 4 weeks. They all just look and sound well. The microphone that I use for those is like I got on my own because I've been wanting to get that damn microphone forever. But like all my stuff looks and sounds better now, and it's like, God, I waited too long. But I was poor, so I had to choose between food, gas, and Blu-rays. So it was a very tough decision I had to make.
I know, right? And you didn't have to make those.
And thanks to my YouTube money, I have pre-ordered all of my Blu-rays I've been wanting for the rest of the year. I paid them all off. So now they will all. I use the Sezzle payment method on Right Stuff, and like all my Japanese animation will come right to me over the next from now till the end of December, and I can't wait for my Project Echo Blu-ray. I'm so looking forward to that.
Looking forward to the.
You haven't watched Project Echo yet. Why haven't you watched Project Echo yet? You haven't told me about Project Echo. I know you should be watching Project Echo. Why haven't you watched Project Echo?
I need to watch Project Echo, but because
it's one 80-minute movie.
It's because I'm apparently a glutton for punishment and wanted to see the Kansas game instead.
Of course you did. You had to go see the Kansas game.
I did. I will say, I am going to try this for the first time. By the way, guys, while I'm saying it, for the last 30 minutes of the live stream, I am going to open up the chat to see if other people want to join in. I'll see if people want to.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay.
Is anyone Wait, is anyone here?
There's a whopping 2 people, and there was 3 people waiting. So I'm going to open it up.
It's probably me and Gavin and you.
It might be. It possibly might be, but I'm going to open it up.
I'll leave and join again. I'll pretend to be someone else.
Oh, so it's not going to be Onikuno. It's going to
I'll be Fiend Sorster.
Fiend Ed Sorster.
Yeah, and I'll just put on a fake mustache.
Exactly. I'm going to open it up. I'll see if people have their thoughts. But yes, Gavin, to answer your question, 100% people are foaming at the mouth wanting us to lose. Like, they can't keep getting away with it, but we keep getting away with it.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. Like,
next time, Gadget, next time.
Yeah, because it's like, I will say this. People got upset with Texas because they blew it. Kansas State, they pretty much tried to blame the refs, but
they were literally Adam Sandler. You blew it.
every single team.
Yeah. So pretty much every single team, like, it's like sometimes you get the luck on your side. And we just keep getting more lucky than anything. That's just all it is.
No, I don't think that's what it is, Gavin. I think that we have waited 20 years for a championship, and we're using everything in the cupboard of Sooner Magic that exists right now. It's like, oh, time for the Sooner Magic. Yesterday, oh, time for Sooner Magic. Oh, against Tulane, time for some Sooner Magic. Oh, against Texas, time for some Sooner Magic. We are using everything we have stored up the past 20 years to...
Honey, could you go pick up some Sooner Magic at the store?
You only get one per season. Oh, well, good thing we have a lot.
Yeah,
it's like pours the gallon just like over the sink. We're out of Sooner Magic. Could you go stop by on your way home, pick up some Sooner Magic on your way home, and get some Brahms too? Get some milk at Brahms.
Hey, Brahms is only for winners. So, just saying. Combine that together. Sponsored by Brahms.
Brahms is overrated, by the way.
Oh,
it is.
Easy.
I don't disagree with you. Gavin, I don't disagree with him. I like the ice cream, but the food's garbage. I don't disagree with him.
No one should ever eat the food at Brahms ever.
Except ice cream. Ice cream is not food. It's a dessert.
You stick with Sonic. Sonic is good. Fast food.
What is wrong with you there? Sonic's garbage too. If I
wanted, that's an Oklahoma tradition, you bastard, and I will not like.
Which one, Brahms or Sonic?
Like, we should have, like, in hindsight, we should have kept the basketball team named the Sonics because and changed the logo to like the Sonic fast food logo, the Oklahoma Sonics.
Oh man, makes Seattle even more bitter at us. And put an elephant.
You people got a hockey team out of it. Shut up.
The real
With, like,
question is,
you have like the coolest like sports nickname like ever. So be quiet.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but like I think it was like Vegas's opening night. I think they had like this, wonderful, nice graphic intro that they had with like the Knight versus the Kraken that they had. Where the ice was starting to break.
Oh yeah,
apart.
they've been doing some really cool stuff over the past few years
yeah.
with the ice, like
yeah.
the 3D stuff on the ice. Like, dude, it's awesome.
Oh
For
man,
what?
Like NH, like
television, or is it for, like,
I'm so happy the NHL is back on ESPN because you get the theme song back. You get that theme song back. It's very important.
Well, okay. To answer your question, Josh, it's basically like not only were they done on TV, but it's also done for their regular season games as well. They always do like some sort of jab at whatever opponent that they are, and then basically a giant helmet comes down to where their bench is at, and then they come out skating on the ice.
But do you see it just for the graphic for television, or is it like actually in the stadium too? Like the way they're doing it, if that makes sense. On the big screen or anything.
Well, you get to see it like on the big screen and on the ice, so it's like you get to see the whole, see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
It's awesome.
but I will say this: I think if anything, like their inaugural season, like whenever they had the Capitals, I believe their intro throughout that entire. For like, I think it was like, I don't know if it was game. I think it was like game one of the, of the Stanley Cup. Man, it was probably like one of the best intros I've probably seen.
You mean like when they won it a couple of years ago against the Knights?
No. I'm talking about like the Knights intro is what I'm talking about. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like for hockey. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, Josh, like this is totally off topic, but
yes,
I'll ask you here. Like, there are like no. I've been meaning to get a new hat for a while. There are no extra large hats in stock anywhere online.
It's because I keep buying them all.
Okay. Well, I like this hat. I've been sweating profusely through this entire season because it's just driving me insane. I got like sweat stains. Like I either need to go get like the cleaner to like get them out, and so it's starting to get a little. Like, it looks okay now, but it's going to get worse.
I like how you're already like saying it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse. It's going to be all. It's not going to be white anymore. It's going to be all grungy, like some of my old terrible videos. Because that's how poor I was back then. I couldn't afford to get a new hat. And like the white was getting all grungy and nasty. It's like that's why you don't see some of those videos anymore. Because I am not keeping those videos up with the grungy hats. They're just. It's just like I'm so embarrassed by those. But I was poor. I was dirt ass poor. Can you hook a brother up and go to a local place and find me a damn hat in my size?
Yes, I can. Tell me I'll go look for it either.
Like I want one like this, basically like this, like fitted in the back and everything, extra large, a basic hat like this, just a very red traditional OU logo. I don't know,
yeah,
like what's on the side. This is like regular Nike swoosh, but like if it's got a Jordan brand or whatever, I don't care. But it's like
it's Jordan now.
I will PayPal whatever it costs you. Just tell me what it is, and I'll Venmo PayPal you whatever it is because like they're like Sooner. Like I keep waiting for the Sooner Sports store online, and they have like 2 hats left, and none of them they're not like traditional hats that I want.
No, there's one where it's like it's the store near Sooner Mall on the west side, and they have like a full selection. I just don't know if they're like one size fit anymore or anything like that.
Well, I wear like an LXL is my size basically.
Okay. LXL. Okay.
And if you have to ask me, just text or whatever. Like where he left.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm getting the hat that I use it for like when I'm walking and stuff outside, but I think it's a good example of it.
Like you sent me a hat one time, but it was like way too small for my gigantic head, and I'm just
sorry.
like, I appreciate this, but this ain't fitting my head.
This is what I use for walking. Don't get me wrong. There's a red one. There you go. That's what they have, but it's not like the strap anymore. It's actually like one of these at this point. I'll have to look to see.
I would prefer not to have one of those. I like the fitted hat. If that's available.
I will look. There's no guarantees because I like that style too, and I don't remember them having that style last year with it. It seems like they go back and forth where it's like the one fit, and then it's also the clip, and then on the back it's like that plastic one as well.
Yeah, the one fits better because you don't have to mess with anything in the back. It just like slips on, and it's very comfortable. And like obviously I have a spare in the back, but it's like one of those like fitted ones in the back, and it fits me very awkwardly. It doesn't look. It's all misshapen. That's why it's just kind of randomly back there. Like that's my dresser. That's my junk top. Everyone has a dresser with all their crap on top of it. Like I'm one of those. There's like so much random crap on there. Like you have, no, it's like got hats. It's got my wallet. It's got some mail. It's got like an OU coffee mug I never drink out of, and it's got 2 Spider-Man action figures sitting on top of an original 1984 Optimus Prime trailer with Optimus Prime attached, of course.
Of course, because why wouldn't Optimus Prime be attached?
I mean, it's an OG 84 Optimus Prime that's worth nothing because it's out of the box, but you know, I keep them close because it's the best Transformer of all time.
What, you're telling me it's not NRFB?
I don't know what that means.
Neat, like still mint in box.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I do have the box technically still. I do have the box. I have it like packed away somewhere. Not that it matters, but anyway. I'm almost 40 and I still have a few action figures.
And
I mean, that's just what it is. I'm almost 40 and I have like a handful still.
I mean, I have my Megazord.
I mean, I have a Sam Bradford and Adrian Peterson OU like McFarlane figurine. They stopped making those and I'm sad. I miss those McFarlane NFL toy series. Good display figures.
They just want to have the what's it called? The NIL from them. What?
I mean, that's a possibility now. Like I would usually I would get whenever there's like a new Dallas Cowboy, I would kill to get a CD Lamb one right now because I got a DeMarco. I got a DeMarco Murray one. At least I think I did. Yeah, I did. I got a DeMarco Murray one. I have a DeMarco Murray Dallas Cowboy. I had a Roy Williams Dallas Cowboy one. I'm trying to think who else. I had Peterson for Vikings. They're all like packed away somewhere. I only have the OU stuff, and I just realized at some point I got to get the SEC pocket helmets to match up with at some point because I have the big...
because you have we won't have that tradition anymore at this point.
Well, I mean, I had the OG Big 12 set, and then I just like put the others in a box somewhere because I didn't need them anymore, and I literally individually bought online I individually bought online the West Virginia one, and I happened to be in the Dallas DFW airport one year, and I walked into a store, and it's like, here's the mini TCU helmet. I'm like, oh, I'll grab that. And then I bought the West Virginia one like when I got home. I was like,
well, that's why we went to the Kansas game, where we're like, we're assuming OU is out of here next year. Like, yeah, we may do one more series.
If we do one more season, but they're not gonna. They would play in Norman against Kansas next year.
Right, so. That's why we wanted to make the trip. Initially, it was to Kansas State, but with all the thunderstorms that we did, we're like, we don't want to do an 8-hour delay just to drive home after that. Like, no. This one was clear skies. It was going to be perfect. Perfect game. Well, in hindsight, but at the time, perfect game to go visit.
Speaking of weather.
So.
Yeah, well, one day they'll have working electricity, and that'll be great.
Once they pay their bill.
Indoor plumbing, too. It'd be fantastic.
What? That's a novel concept.
Speaking of weather...
Now, I will say, while you're saying that...
71 degrees and sunny on Saturday. In Norman. So,
interesting.
Yeah. So, good, perfect football weather. There'll be some weather on Wednesday, probably, but...
Although, can we make sure there are no tortillas in sight for any of the fans? I know it's a home game, but
that's in Lubbock. So
I know. I'm just saying in general. I just do not want to see a tortilla at all. Period. That's just my.
No, there's gonna be. You'll have more chance of like a beach ball or someone trying to start a wave. I'm becoming old against the wave at this point. I'm trying.
I think people will try to start the wave. Should be shot.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. Like, as a student, when I was like 17, 18, I'm like, oh, this is funny. Now it's like, I've paid good money to watch this game. Quit.
Listen. I am
getting old, Josh. You are
old.
I'm
a pinko commie liberal for the most part, but listen, there are times where I would embrace a fascist society if we could prevent people from doing stupid things in football games. I really do.
Yeah.
What?
Like
fascism has its benefits at times. It really does.
Oh.
I mean, we had it for 4 years.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just saying. The other thing I got annoyed at was people throwing a beach ball around. I'm like, if it comes and lands in front of me, I'm popping it, guys. Like, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm gonna hear the boo, and I'm gonna go, I don't care. I paid money.
Pop it with what? Are you gonna bring out a blade and go? Like, are you gonna pull like the big bully in like 90s comedies and go?
Exactly.
You're gonna be like Vader from WCW and that when they guest starred on like a Baywatch and he takes the basketball and just crushes it with his hands, and like Ric Flair and like the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan are just making fun of Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and the rest of the Baywatch crew because they got to save the rec center.
Just bring some push pins. That's what I would do. I would just bring some push pins.
I had 2 thoughts to do. The first one was, Sean, you were correct, and then the other one was I was going to walk down because you've been in my parents' seats. They're not that hype. I was going to go down to security, be like, here you go. I'm done with this.
You're such a narc. Such a narc.
I am. Absolutely am. I'm like,
you're the kid who reminds the teacher on Friday afternoon, right when the bell rings. You forgot to collect homework.
Oh, hell no.
You're that kid.
Hell no.
You're that kid, and everybody hates you.
No, I'm not that.
You forgot to give us our weekend assignment. You get beat up after school, rightfully so.
I was not that kid. I was the kid that's like, please, I just want to go home and play video games. Let me play with my Power Rangers. But no.
And that was just yesterday.
It was. That my punishment was going to a Kansas game, apparently. I did eat some good Kansas barbecue.
I actually got into like not an argument, but like one of my buddies who's like, there's like a lot of like, I don't know if it's like, it's not Hot Toys, but it's something else. Like someone's like, hey, it's like, here's a Rita Repulsa figure. And it's like that they made recently. And it's like, oh, for the, I guess like the first time ever, because they never made one back in the 90s. It's like, yeah, they did. I'm like, no, they didn't. It's like, yeah, they did. It's like, no, they didn't. Like, I was my last action figures I ever bought as like a kid who played with action figures were Power Rangers. I would have had a Rita Repulsa figure if it existed. It did not exist.
It didn't.
When you stop and think about it, why did they not make one?
Because Lord said. That's literally why. Because by
the
time
but she came back and was part of the show. It's like, why? That drove me insane as a kid.
Prototype of her exists. It does exist. It never made it to retail.
But it's the main villain of the show. It's like not making Cobra Commander or Shredder or like, why? Like, it's just, it's like, it has to be the really silly mentality of like, oh, boys don't want to buy a girl figurine. Yet you get, you'll get the pink and yellow Ranger, of course. But it's like, it didn't make any sense. It's like, I had like majority of like that first run. Now, granted, like the original run was really hard to get. So I got like the,
oh yeah, because the parents were fighting over like the Power Rangers.
Well, no, they didn't make enough toys initially because it was like a low print run. But like I got like that second run. That was like the karate chop ones. And they were way more fun to play with anyway. But it was like I had those. Then I had the mini ones that had the the head flip. Those are cool. Yeah. So you could have like helmet or no helmet. And God, this is so sad. I'm talking about like I had like as a kid, the last run I had like original like Megazord, Dragonzord, Titanus. I had like the second release of that. I had like the Thunder Zords, Ninja Zords, Shogun Zords. I think I got like the Zeo Megazord, and that was kind of it. Because once they got the cars, it got stupid for me. But I have a lot of.
Everybody likes cars.
No, I hated it. I had a lot of like nostalgia for that OG Megazord. That OG Megazord is great. I loved the look of it. It was fun. Like it looked good. Thunder one was good as well. But I was like, OG Megazord, man, had that look. Loved it.
Oh, absolutely. That's why they said it was like the perfect storm with that release. Like it's a good looking Megazord, even though Japan
OG Zhu Ranger. See, you're lucky you have nobody watching right now because like they're talking about Power Rangers. What a bunch of losers these guys
They
are.
can get over it.
Bunch of losers talking about Power Rangers. Like I was like 10 when the Power Rangers first came out, and it was kind of like that borderline for me. I know how, like for me, I was 10. It was like that borderline where I was like, this show is cool. Because like the thing that sold me on the show was like, I have giant transforming interchangeable robots. I'm sold. That's what I like. If it was just them and the spandex, I probably wouldn't care as much. But giant combining robots with different forms, and so, I'm in.
And there were dinosaurs.
Like that was the best. You got your bang for your buck because like you have the Dragon Zord, you can have two different Dragon Zords combinations. We have the Dragon Megazord, or you have like the one where it folds up and just like gets on top, and then you get that with Titanus. It's like that's like a kid's dream to have all these combining giant fighting robots with monsters, and you can fight anything. You could fight like if you had a little sister, you could fight her teddy bear collection, or if you had one of those fake off like third rate bootleg Godzillas, you could fight those things. Like you fight anything with those things. I'd fight anything with those Megazords as a kid. It was like crash them into things. Awesome, loved it. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Then there was that weird period where you get to like 12, 13-ish, and then you and your friends are having weird like scenarios with the Power Rangers that are a little PG-13, and it's like, what's going on here? And we're not talking about violence, and we're not talking about violence either. Because you're in that weird period where you're going through puberty, you're not sure what you're doing, and but those are stories that nobody wants to hear for another time. That's something I'll embarrass my best friend whenever I get it from childhood if I ever see him at some point. Like, remember we used to do that? It's like, let's not talk about that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey, they are going through a renaissance right now. I mean, their comic line is really good right now. So
I know nothing of anything, and I know you know all that by heart. But like, I remember up to when Zordon got replaced by the weird like KKK lady or whatever she looked like. I was out.
No, this is they're still going.
I called her the KKK lady.
I mean, the way the Spanish.
She looks like a grand wizard or something. It's just very awkward.
They tried. There was an attempt, and there was a fail because nobody left.
I'm very glad that Zach fellow is no longer here. Aisha, you're going to have to go. We're going to have to replace you.
We're all sending you to the peace conference.
Wait, it wasn't even Aisha. It was like the like she had to get replaced for whatever reason.
It was Trini. Yeah, it was.
No. It was Aisha. Remember when they were kids and they had to get the Zeo Crystal, and she went to like Africa, and it was like, no, you have to trade places with it. It was like, wait, who the hell are you? It was like, who's this? And then she becomes like a grown up again, or maybe she never was a grown up. It was like that was weird. And then the command center blows up, and it's like, what's going on? That was like a mess with my mind at times. Like, what? You can't end it there. You can't blow up the command center and say, well, that's it. Like,
that's it, guys. But Tommy is still here. Oh, okay, that's fine.
It's like it's like that's the end of the show. Like the bad guys win. What? And then Zeo started. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Everything's fine. We were just kidding. We just wanted those clicks. We just wanted.
Then there was that weird episodes where they went to Australia, and those were really awkward and bad. I remember.
Okay, I know why they did that. I actually know why. I know that is so.
Those were some awful episodes. Terrible.
The reason why they did the Australia episodes was they were filming the movie in Australia, and there was no time to get back to the U.S. They needed some more footage, so they just filmed one in Australia. And that's what they called it. And that was
I remember being like a weird episode. Like, no, Rita came back. That was when Rita came back, right? Initially.
Yeah.
For like, it was just like, I just remember them being bad. But nothing was worse to the supposed Green versus White Ranger episodes they did.
Man, that was iconic, though. That was iconic.
No, it wasn't. Those are some of the most disappointing. Like, that's the idea you came up with? We're going to be back in time in old Amish or whatever it was. It was like Maine or...
No, that was when they sent the Rangers back. That was they still wanted a fight scene green and white,
and they were so cheap that they had to use stock footage. You needed to get to see. They couldn't they didn't pay the money to get the suits for the two robot suits to have them actually fight and touch each other. It was like one's over here, one's over here. That was lame.
It was because they
lame.
They ruined one of the costumes, and Japan was like, "Nope, no more."
Lame.
Yeah.
Lame. Terrible.
Hey, all I know is once season 2 hit halfway when they changed all the powers, it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do all the same thing of monster off-screen finisher. We didn't actually see a monster punch again until like season 3.
We need to show that the Power Rangers have new powers for the Power Rangers. And someone said, "Little glitter. Let's put some glitter."
Apparently, glitter
makes you more powerful.
Exactly.
They're metallic now. It's like glitter.
That wasn't glitter, Sean.
Now those movie suits were badass.
Which is funny because if you ask those actors, they're like, there's two things. One, they were built really crappy, and two, they were heavy as hell.
I'm sure they were, but they were still badass.
They're better than the
Gavin is just miserable right now. This is my revenge for you. This is my revenge for you trying to extend last week by asking that Nightmare on Christmas is like a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie. I was like, I'm out.
And you left. And now we're talking Power Rangers. And we still have one person still watching, so they appreciate it.
It's believe it or not, the Power Rangers, that wasn't the biggest problem for me, to be honest with you, because it's like how many times do we have to basically reincarnate out of like different variations of the same storyline or something.
Well, that's Japan. Japan does that, but you know why the command center blew up at the end of it was the third season, right? Like the end of the third season. You know why the command center blew up? Alex Grinch playing that soft zone, man.
Yeah,
Alex Grinch playing that soft zone.
Yeah, let Rito and Goldar.
Ay, Zordon! Let's have a catch it is 15 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
you need to do that in one of your vids.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Please use it in one.
Alpha, switch to press coverage. Alpha, switch to man. I can't sort out some things from.
Yeah.
If we lose a game this season, please.
Ay, we almost lost to Kansas in football.
I'm so disappointed I didn't think of that. I'm so disappointed in myself.
I'm just doing this off the top of my head.
That's fantastic, though. Oh my
Alpha, God. Make a post on Craigslist. Wanted new defensive coordinator.
For how much, Zordon?
Anything. We'll pay you an experience.
Oh, that's worse. Oh, that's worse.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Okay, I know I'm gonna probably be going off topic though, but
how can we've been off topic for half an hour.
I'm gonna continue taking this off topic because I want to ask you guys this because it's like and I've probably been away from the Pokemon scene for quite a while. But
all right, now I'm really out, so go ahead.
I'm like, I don't know why I just hate the design on Pokemon now. I really, really do.
I like the design.
You do?
I'm just saying. I do. I think they're creative.
Yeah,
but
Sean,
that's me.
Don't look at me. I didn't play with. I didn't get into Pokemon. Was past my time. Like I said, Power Rangers. Also, I watched real anime back then. All due respect. So I didn't watch Pokemon.
Okay.
Like when I was 15, 16, I went into Pokemon. I was watching like Evangelion and Ranma 1/2 and Tenchi and Slayers. Dragon Ball Z.
If you look,
coming soon to Blu-ray.
Did you not see the design?
I pre-ordered my copy.
Did you have see the design with Ash of like what he started like, and then like what look where I'm at now? What you know what I'm talking about? That challenge, like how it started versus how it's going, and it's like.
So Ash has been 10 years old for 30 years and still hasn't won a tournament, right?
No, he did. He did.
No, he has.
It was covered by ESPN. they're like, he actually won a tournament, and they're like, everyone who's like from our generation is like, oh yeah, like that's what our job experience is wanting. Oh yeah, for an entry level job, 10 years or 30 years of experience, but you're only 10 years old. Spicy hot takes.
ESPN's covered many things. ESPN2 once covered a Magic the Gathering tournament in its heyday, in its early days. So who am I to judge at this point?
I'm just waiting for the day that they cover Beyblade. The moment they cover Beyblade,
heck,
you know it's everything.
I mean, heck, they even covered sumo wrestling at one point.
But that's a sport, though. That is a real sport in a country, in a first world country that they care about. That is a real sport.
No joke. I remember when I was a kid, they covered Digimon and they called it the Digiball, and they literally made it a sport. I'm like, why am I watching?
No. That was Fox. That was I have clips. I have clips of that. That is Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah,
Terry Bradshaw did these little vignettes. I'm sure he's like, what the heck? I was like, what the heck? What the hell is a Digimon?
We'll pay you money. Okay.
What the heck's a Digimon? I have come on, man, guys! I got shingles. Come on.
See, now I'm curious. What are you waiting to use those clips on? That is my question.
Wait for me?
Yeah, you said you have those clips.
I run panels before COVID. I have my panels.
That's right.
Like 90s anime panels, and of course, if you were watching in the 90s or early 2000s or whatever, you saw this. It's like I have pre-roll stuff before, when I get set up just to test audio before I actually do the actual panel. I have a bunch of stuff that I play just as a joke. It's like, here's Terry Bradshaw doing Digiball. Here's the late night infomercials where you could get subscription VHS anime back in the day. The best of Japanese animation, Volume 1, Volume 2. This ain't no Mickey Mouse stuff. Yeah, so it's just stuff. It's like pre-roll stuff I would play.
Gotcha.
I might actually get to do that next year.
Do it.
Go
ahead, Gavin.
I was just gonna say, look, I really enjoyed, talking about all the things, with all the stuff that's been going on. But I have probably gonna need to go ahead and get ready and call it a night, because I got to get ready for work in the morning. So love talking to you guys, and I will see you.
You don't want to talk about you don't want to talk about Disney sitcoms that we may or may not have watched during our youth, or something like that. You sure?
I want to save that for another week. So
he's bowing out on this one.
I'm kidding.
No. I mean, I would love to actually discuss some of the Disney sitcoms. That's actually was something
I was kidding, by the way.
Gavin, it's not.
No, I literally did watch Disney sitcoms. So
that's fine. That's fine, Gavin. We'll talk about Halloween Town at another time. So you have a good night, Gavin. We're going to be wrapping up anyway. So
don't know what that is.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. See you later, Gavin.
See ya.
Sean, see ya. Final. We'll wrap up too. Sean, any final thoughts going to Texas Tech? In all seriousness, like, what do you expect at this point? Because I don't know what to expect.
We need Billy, Alpha, and Zordon to fix the defense at all costs.
That's really difficult to ask. That's a lot to ask of Billy. Like, there's only so many things he can fix.
Just the offense needs to be on point, and like Caleb Williams needs to score all the touchdowns. Like, I'm being a little facetious, but I'm kind of serious at the same time.
Yeah,
they like you can't start slow. You got to establish the run. If you get Mike Woods back, great. Jaden Hazelwood has been like, it's been a blessing how well he's been playing lately. Like the guys we're not giving too much credit for. Like, he's been playing really good football. So him playing well. Hopefully get Mario Williams back, despite him not doing a whole lot this year. It's been frustrating, I'm sure, for him. Hopefully he can get back.
Out Saturday.
If it was a desperate situation, he probably could have played. He didn't travel with the team though. Right. But again, the mentality is that. But so.
Yeah.
If they could get Redmond back, if they get Redmond and DJ Graham back and Turner Yell, I think that will help a little bit. But they need to have a come to Jesus moment, and they need to go to this week and get into this bye week, and then have 2 weeks to prepare to get ready for that run, because not only are you going to have to play all three of those, the three top tier teams behind you in this conference, you're likely going to play one of those teams again if you get to Arlington. So, like, you need to be prepared. So, and at this point, the way they're playing, I don't think they're going to get through unscathed. Like, I think they'll win this. They'll win this week, but I mean, Riley's undefeated in November. I mean, can he keep that streak going? So, and if they can figure that out, they can win out. They'll make the playoff. But like, you don't know what Oklahoma team you're going to get if they do, like, or who they're going to play if they do. So, it's just, you got to take it one step at a time. It's a week to week based thing with this team. So
yeah, it's a Jekyll and Hyde situation.
If they can come home next to last home game, and they can, you know, if they pull off a TCU type win, fine. Because I can't get mad anymore. Because sometimes you are who you are. I mean, if you keep winning by the skin of your teeth, you're still winning. So it's like I can only imagine what this fan base would be like if we actually had lost games.
I'm going to ask you that. I think we have a good 5 minutes left. I'm going to ask you that. If we would have lost truly on Saturday, who would have gotten fired? Because someone has to be held responsible.
Well, it's not Riley. It wouldn't be Riley.
It wouldn't have been Riley. I don't think it would have been Grinch either.
No one would have gotten fired, but like the table would be set at the end of the year because they want to try to hold on to some guys, recruiting wise. And I don't think anyone would have been fired. As bad and as embarrassing it would have been, no one would have gotten fired. I don't think. It's easy to say that now, but it's like believe me, everyone in the world would be calling for his head, and I'd just be like, "We gotta pump this shit."
Do you think people are justified right now on some of the stuff though? With it, like,
people are justified to be upset. Well, people are justified to be upset because we almost lost to Kansas. Of course, they're justified. Like, I mean, they walked in, they thought they could roll their helmets out there and just win by talent, and they did for the most part. But they thought there was just everything was wrong for most of the day. There was like a handful of guys that played hard, and some guys that weren't. Perrin Winfrey, I'm kind of at the point with him where it's like I went into this year thinking Perrin Winfrey is going to be a slam dunk first round pick. Not anymore. He ain't a first round pick right now.
Third round pick. I think he's very far down the.
I think he can come. I think he can come back if he wants to. Like, I don't know why he would go. I mean, at this point, you guys ask yourself, like, are some true freshmen next year going to make it? Like, I think Gabe Dindy's going to make an impact next year on that D line.
Yeah,
he'll definitely be a rotational guy, but that's next year. Like this year, it's like. I think Redmond coming back, it's like we think, because when you lose a guy like this, it's like okay, they can make up for it, and they need him. They need Jalen Redmond back.
Yeah, they do. They need. I mean, I know he's probably not going to be back for a long time. Woody Washington, he's another one, and that's where I said I'm not ready to jump on the fire Grinch or replace Grinch yet, because I know a lot of people are comparing him to like Mike, but I'm like, the difference is Mike didn't have injured players out. They were all starters, and they were garbage.
Grinch, Mike had some injuries, but that's not the reason why we're playing crappy defense.
Correct.
Like
I said with Grinch,
the thing I've always said with Grinch up to this point before this debacle is that I am willing to give Grinch a small pass. He really tested my patience on Saturday, though. I was willing to give him a pass because like the recruiting has just like been different, and people are saying, well, that's Riley. Well, Riley's been the head coach for a while now, and we weren't getting anywhere close to defensive recruits we are in the past couple of years that we were 5 years ago. Not even close. So Riley was head coach in 17 and 18. Like, we didn't really start getting real serious consideration until after Grinch's first year. We started, we're getting some guys in the Rivals top 100. Ooh, we won a recruiting battle with Alabama for a corner. This is actually happening now. And you're seeing like the recruiting is looking really good. But if I say buy, it is college football. But like, if you get all this talent to come in and you don't know, and you can't get anything done with it, what's the point? So it's like at some point you got these guys. These are all Grinch guys outside of like Pat Fields.
They're Grinch, yeah.
And outside of like Caleb Kelly and Pat Fields, who's a Mike Stoops guy still. These are all his guys. These are all his recruits. Yeah. So I don't want to hear, oh, we're still dealing with Mike. No, these are all your guys.
No,
like
that's where I think the big thing too is, and I want to really add that in, is these are Grinch's guys, and I think the problem is his schematic theme. What a lot of people said with Grinch was he gets burned on the passes, but his D line is usually fine. D line's a little suspect right now, but also too like the player development, I think, is where I'm worried about on defense. That's where I can see where people's arguments are a little legitimate, that the development is not there. Maybe we need to bring in a safeties coach at this point. I said the same thing of like, I'm ready to bring in a special teams coach. I think with special teams, they haven't been excelling. I'm tired of them like fair catching it. Why aren't we running the ball back?
Well, special teams, like,
it's a nitpick, but
I mean, if guys got to have a lane, and I'm sure like it's not that we've never had guys try to return kicks, but like special teams, we got one of the better kickers and punters in the country. So that's one. Like special teams is not a problem, in my opinion. I really like. We've had two gaffes all year. We had the block kick early in the Texas game, the block punt, and then we gave up the big return against K-State. Other than that, I'm not. Like special teams has gone down and tackled. For the most part, like they're tackling guys when they absolutely like we're not giving up like big chunk returns on special teams. So I disagree with that. All due respect. I mean,
that's fine.
So like I know you want like the big play. Why aren't guys taking it back? It's like just like the problem with that mentality is it's like they changed the rules where you can fair catch inside the 25 and they'll move it to the 25 on kickoffs. It's for safety reasons. So that's why they're trying to eliminate kick returns as much as possible. So when you give them that option to, I'm at the 2, fair catch, move to the 25. That's why you're not seeing that as much. Because because like, why am I going to try to run and may not even get to the 25 if I don't have a clear lane? So it's like, I get it, but like the opportunity has to be there. In order to take it. It's easy for us to watch on TV a side view. We're not seeing the eyes of the kick returner.
Right.
Like if they have a lane, they'll take it. Believe me, they will. Like, as you know what happens? Look what happened. Well, that, and then you have Xavier Worthy for Texas who got the ball stripped by Caleb Kelly. That's another thing you have to worry about. So
I didn't think about that. You're right.
So I ain't worried about special teams.
I guess I just get frustrated with them not taking it out, but also too. Like,
look, I miss Alex Ross too, not the comic book artist, but I mean like the football player who had great straight line speed and took kick returns for touchdowns all the time for Oklahoma. I miss that guy. He was really good at doing that.
Him and was it Justin Brown? He was the Penn State transfer.
Brown was good. Jalen Saunders was good. Reggie Smith back in the day. So yeah, I mean Ryan Broyles and punt returns. So I get it. Like those are fun plays. We all love them, but again, it's just you got to have that opportunity. You got to have that lane. So I remember when people told me how great D.D. Westbrook was at taking back punts, and I'm like, he's never like I don't think he ever took. He had like maybe one his entire time. It's like, oh my god, what a great punt return! It's like I love D.D. Westbrook, but he ain't making his plays and punt returns. Like it's all wide receiver catches and. It's like, I was just like, I'm not angry you're liking him, but like, what games are you watching where he's making these punt returns? Because I ain't seen
on their NCAA 14 Dynasty. That's where they're seeing it.
Oh, God, that's another reason to get a PS5. That game's going to come out in a couple years. We're like 18 months away from that game coming back. Oh, God. Potentially.
Do you think 18 or probably a little bit longer just because of COVID?
Well, I mean, they're like if they're not, it's not going to come out next year. So a year from July. So that's
already because of like the NIL.
In the first game is probably going to be buggy as hell and missing some stuff. Yeah. But we'll be so happy to have a game again. We're going to forgive all that at the time being, and we'll bitch and complain about. After we play it for a few months, like it needs this, and this. Our stadium's wrong. You know,
Yeah. Speaking of stadium, that is something I will give credit for. I did enjoy going up to Kansas. Kansas Stadium. It reminds me of a classic stadium.
I miss them having a track around the football field.
Oh, I noticed that. Where I was just like, their sidelines really wide. Oh, I bet there was a track. That's why.
Yeah, there used to be a track. I missed the track.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I noticed that, but I was like, something's missing. It didn't occur to me until about the third quarter of that's what it was.
They got all this space. Don't look at them with all this. Oh, there used to be a track around it.
Yeah, I was reminded of it up the curve. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why it makes.
Meanwhile, at Norman and Stillwater, you're like 2 feet from the sideline. You hit a brick wall and kill yourself. You get tackled out of bounds.
My goodness. Well, and that's something I can appreciate with Kansas. Like, I like our stadium, but our stadium is a little bit of a mismatch just because of like where the updates are, where stuff solely needs. Like, we need to replace the press box and things like that. Theirs has that classic. I'm not going to go as far and say a high school, but it has that good, solid middle ground with it. Like, it's a solid football stadium, and I like what they did with it, what they're trying to do with it. Kudos to them for that. I knew I was walking into a collegiate stadium. I'll put it that way. Versus like Allen, Texas. That's another story entirely. So, but I enjoyed the experience up there. Lawrence is a neat little town. Definitely. I enjoyed the barbecue we had there, as well as like just walking around the campus. It was fun. I enjoyed the travel thing. I think next year I want to do Nebraska, and we were talking about probably Texas Tech. That was probably going to be our next away game, as well. We were thinking about Baylor, but Baylor looks like it's going to be like super expensive tickets. Probably won't be able to swing that. So,
well, if for some reason this team ends up in the Orange Bowl, I'll probably punish myself and make an attempt to go down there. So,
hey, make it 0-3, right?
Yeah. Well, hang on. 0-4 actually.
0-4. Got to keep the streak alive, right?
I mean, I count regular season game against Miami that I went to. So.
Yeah. Have you been to any away games?
Yeah,
Besides,
Miami.
Oh, so you did go to the OU Miami. Okay.
Yeah, like 2009. I went there. I went down there for I watched Landry Jones get sacked and strip the ball, and they scored a touchdown. And Broyles got hurt early, and DeMarco was the only player on offense that could do shit. It was just so bad.
Okay, yeah. So I guess when more SEC games, you'll be.
I went to that game, and then I went to that game, then I flew out for OU Texas. It's like, why am I doing this to myself?
That was the one with Garrett, right? You, Joe, and Nick with Garrett.
Oh yeah, that was the first time, and then the next year we did Garrett got off lucky the next year because we went somewhere private. And we were trying to, we found like a white Shetland pony that was in a stable, and we are going to have him take a picture in front of it. And then you couldn't see the pony in the background. So it was like, we actually met up at Big Tex the year before and had a way more embarrassing. So it's like, he got off lucky as far as I'm concerned. I know Joe's got it somewhere but it's like, he got so lucky. So lucky.
At some point he'll need to go back to the OU Texas game too. Cause I watched a tiny bit of y'all's live stream with, y'all talking about it, and he hasn't been back in quite some time too. It's hard getting to those games. So let's wrap up, John. I want to thank you for coming back on and going through group therapy number 8 at this point with us. You're going to be doing the live stream for Texas Tech this week.
Yeah, against my better judgment, I guess. So
good luck with the chat at this point. I haven't decided if I'm going to go to that game or not. That'd be game number 4 in a row. That it gets tiring. I am a little exhausted.
So tired of winning.
Day job. I know, right? I'm tired of these 8-0 games or these games that we only win by a touchdown.
Sick tired of being undefeated, man.
I know, right? But anything for your channel? Anything upcoming this week besides the live stream and a couple of the other ones?
I mean, it's October is September was my best month ever. And now September is going to be my September last month was my best month ever. October, with about 7 days to go, is pretty much tied that at this point, and this will be my best month ever.
That's right, because you hit 10,000 views. Or subscribers.
Yes, 10,000 total views. Total views.
That's my views.
I finally broke the $100 threshold to get paid on YouTube. I finally did it.
After 10 years, it's all coming together. All coming together.
It's time to conquer Earth.
Zordon. Do we have it? Anyway. Congratulations on hitting the 10,000 subscribers, though. I know you've been really. I remember just not that long ago, you hit like 9,500, and this went fast. So congratulations for hitting it, though. Everybody who's watching, go check his channel out. He always has fantastic content, and he always does the live streams on Saturday with like a watch along. It's not a live stream, but a watch.
God, those watch alongs were a mistake.
I'm gonna have to join you for one at some point. Hop on with you.
It's a little more complicated the way I do it. I'm not on StreamYard, so it's a little more complicated to get you on there. So, and I don't know. Well, I'll think about it. But
whenever I get a working PC, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated. So.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll figure something out with it. But have fun with it this week. I'll let everybody know if I'm going to the Texas Tech game. So you have a good one, Sean. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see everybody next week for our victory 9-0 or depressed 8-1 game, because it's possible. It is possible.
It is very possible.
What team shows up. So you have a good one, Sean. Boomer Sooner, everybody, and see you next week.